Hi, everyone, and welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we appreciate you being with us today. Governor Jay Inslee, just a short while ago, extended COVID-19 restrictions in Washington state for another 4 weeks, also announcing another round of funding to support businesses who are experiencing hardship because of the shutdown. Let's listen in to what the governor had to say.
Today we are announcing a package of decisions that will continue to protect the health and lives of Washingtonians, including a 3-week extension of the current restrictions, as well as an economic aid additional package to help the people who are having difficult times as a result of these restrictions. This is because we remain concerned about COVID activity, and we still do not have a clear picture of the situation following the Thanksgiving weekend. So it is a 3-week extension. It is possible that we would be able to recalibrate before then if we have significant improvement, but we don't know enough yet about the pandemic's course and trajectory to be able to do that. So this remains an extremely alarming situation. Now, because COVID strikes both at our health and our economic well-being, we're also announcing an additional $50 million in additional grants for businesses, specifically those who have been hit hardest by these restrictions, as well as economic safeguards for workers who might be losing their employment and income as a result of the pandemic.
All right, so let's take a look at those restrictions and some of the specifics. Indoor dining is closed in bars and restaurants. Indoor retail is limited to 25% capacity. Indoor social gatherings with people outside your household are not allowed. Fitness facilities and gyms are closed for indoor operations, and religious services are limited to 25% indoor capacity or 200 people, whichever is fewer. And again, today's announcement is an extension of those restrictions which are in place. All this amongst what's happening in the COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations right now on the rise across the state of Washington. According to state data, 80% of ICU beds across the state are occupied. That is nearly 1,000 Washington residents in ICU beds. Statewide, there are 11,000 hospitalizations total. Hospitalizations are expected to continue rising through December. And again, as the governor said, possibly not feeling the impact quite yet of the holiday weekend. Governor Inslee announcing a plan to extend pandemic unemployment insurance beyond December 25th. And that means independent contractors, those who are self-employed, and gig workers would continue to receive unemployment even if Congress does not pass a relief bill. So we'll certainly continue to track that. And we are following more breaking news at the noon hour. There are reports of an apartment fire at Regal Ridge Apartments on 53rd and Regal Street. And that's where we find Nicole Hernandez. She is joining us now with the latest. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Laura, that's right. So right now, Regal Street is completely cleared back up. We had a little bit of blockage there on Regal at the beginning of this incident, but now we just have a couple of crews here in the apartment complex. You can see the damage behind me here. You can see that happened up on the 3rd story of this apartment complex. When the fire sparked, there were 2 kids and a mom inside of the apartment where it started. Now, Spokane Fire Department cannot confirm with us that any children had to jump out of a window to escape this fire, but here is what a neighbor told us they saw.
I grabbed the dog, grabbed the kids, left. At that point, there was like smoke all the way down the whole staircase. And then the neighbor's son was hanging out of the 3rd floor window with smoke just pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. And everybody waiting to catch him.
Of course, a scary situation there now. All of the flames are out. Crews are just here working to make sure that nothing else sparks back up, finish cleaning up this area now. In total, 16 people were displaced on 6 different apartments were affected. Red Cross is here helping them find places to stay now in the meantime. The actual fire was contained to the first apartment it started in, but smoke and water damage is what caused the 5 other apartments to have issues and displace people. And in total, they had 53 3 firefighters responding here. So they are still here, of course, also investigating the cause of the fire. We don't know what sparked this fire at this point. Crew should be here for the next hour or so finishing up. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Nicole, we appreciate the update again. An apartment fire, Regal Ridge Apartments on Spokane South Hill, and we want to say a big thank you to the first responders and the American Red Cross responding right now. When folks are displaced right now, there's that added element, of course, of dealing with the pandemic. And so we know likely we'll need some help. So you can always support those efforts, the American Red Cross. Okay, 12:05 right now. We're going to take a moment, check in with one of my favorite guys, Jeremy Lagu. I know.
Oh, wow. Favorite status?
I'll be honest with you, Jeremy. I don't usually throw that out. It did kind of fly out of my mouth, but for sure you're in the running.
Wow.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm in the running? That feels great. Thank you so much, Laura. Oh my
welcome.
goodness. I don't even know how to even start with weather.
Well, let's just see what you do. I mean, then that'll determine whether or not you stay at your status.
Can he perform under pressure? Here we go. Got a lot of sunshine, and just ask Nicole out there in the street. It is warm today. Plenty of warmth across a good chunk of the inland northwest. How about 47 degrees here in Spokane? Already up to 50 in Coeur d'Alene. We got 49 in Pullman, 48 in Moscow. Temps in the 30s out in the Columbia Basin, so it is warming up. We're starting to see some of that wind advect in warmer temperatures, along with some of that moisture we're seeing fill the atmosphere. So it's a big change from where we were. You're going 47, doesn't necessarily feel like that. Well, that's the angle of our sun. Our sun at the lowest angle of the entire year, so it really doesn't feel quite as warm. Now, here's what happens with all of this warmth. Everything that falls in town tomorrow, it's going to be rain. I just don't think we're going to get that wintry mix here in Spokane. Off to the north, northern portions of Washington, you could very well see a wintry mix and a little bit of freezing rain, so be aware of that. But notice our temperatures all night long, staying above freezing. And with that direction that this storm is pushing in some of that moisture, I'm definitely thinking we see just rain, but it's a wet commute tomorrow morning. Rain should end by the commute, but Laura, it's one of those road spray kind of days where you got to have that windshield washer fluid ready to go.
Yeah, kind of gross. Okay. Well, Tom Sherry did promise snow for this winter, so we'll just keep hanging on, Jeremy.
Oh, I'm not worried. He's right. It's coming.
It's coming. All right. Thank you, my friend. 12:07, the Washington Post reporting that Pfizer has told the Trump administration it cannot provide substantial additional doses of its coronavirus vaccine until summer. The delay has been caused as other countries rush to buy the vaccine, and this means Americans may not be able to be vaccinated quite as fast as the administration has previously stated. U.S. regulators posted a positive review of Pfizer vaccine data. That was this morning, but the FDA will still have to convene to debate the science publicly before the vaccine is indeed authorized. That debate will happen coming up on Thursday. All right, if you're looking at your screen, meet Margaret Keenan, a 90-year-old grandmother from England and the first person to receive the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine.
Oh, it was fine. It was fine. I wasn't nervous at all. It was really good, yeah.
Okay. She's from the UK, when the UK began vaccinating country residents with 800,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, becoming the first Western country to start such a program. The first people to get the shot are people in senior living homes.
I thought it was a joke, to tell you the truth, to start with. I couldn't believe it, you know, but I'm happy it's happened. And now I've done it, and hopefully it'll help other people to come along and do as I did, you know, try and do the best to get rid of this terrible thing. Yes.
Yeah. And then earlier today, BBC News reporting that the second person vaccinated was this gentleman, 81-year-old William Shakespeare. Shakespeare said he was, quote, pleased to be given the jab, and hospital staff has been wonderful. This is according to him, 81-year-old Shakespeare. All right, here in the U.S., the Food and Drug Administration may authorize the Pfizer vaccine as early as Thursday. Today, President Trump will host a White House summit to promote the rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines. President-elect Joe Biden was not invited to this summit. And now talking about a coronavirus outbreak. This is at the Airway Heights Correction Center. It's now in several hundred cases. That's the number. In fact, we're getting the report of 514 cases of coronavirus at the Correction Center since the pandemic began. So that's the latest number. The Department of Corrections wasn't able to tell us how many of those cases are currently active. A regional care facility has capacity for 30 incarcerated individuals, according to a spokesperson for the Department of Corrections. Geiger Community Corrections also has 52 cases of the coronavirus among inmates. Geiger has set up a quarantine floor and also an isolation area, trying to obviously keep somewhat containment on that.